All right, good evening and welcome to Football in Vivo on Club Deportes, show number 21. After a brief hiatus, we're back. Once again, airing every Monday on ClubDeportes.com. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Futbol Austin. That's FUTBOL Austin. Follow Club Deportes at Club Deportes for all the latest and greatest sports news and commentary. You know what to do. Visit ClubDeportes.com. I am your host, Eric McCoy, and I am joined by a man prepared to spend the entirety of this show apologizing profusely for ever questioning the coaching ability of Josh Wolf. It is David Alvarez.
Hey.
You got some I'm sorries to hand out, don't you, David?
I knew that was coming. I knew there was something like that.
You knew it, huh? Was it the Western Conference standings that gave it away, perhaps?
But you know, it's just nice to be back.
The fact that Austin FC haven't lost since we last did this show, and our hiatus was brief, but it wasn't that brief.
No.
Yeah, but you know, I'm still standing by what I said before.
Okay, well we're gonna have to ask a few questions about that, David.
Yeah, we'll delve into that.
Okay,
But before we get to it, I do have to introduce a man who's never afraid to point out the distance from Dallas, Texas to Frisco, Texas.
Never.
It's Jorge Chavez.
That's right. And to all those Frisco people out there, you're still not in Dallas. So you can call us a Domain FC or Round Rock FC or whatever.
Round Rock FC.
Inside
Misunderstanding of the Round Rock city limits there, I believe.
Yeah, I think we're not quite there, but
Beyond 183s.
there you go.
We're beyond 183 for sure.
All right, guys, let's not waste any
Yes.
time. We wasted a lot of time. We've been on hiatus, but we're back. And Austin FC, well, they've won a trophy. Well,
Yes.
since we last
We
spoke to
won
our
a trophy.
audience.
Yes.
We won.
We won.
We won.
I don't. So, what did you contribute to this trophy, David?
Oh my!
He inspired the
I-
coaching staff
And I saw
to
it.
prepare better.
Okay, I like it. But Austin FC, they're your 2022
Yes.
Copa Tejas winners after a 1-1 draw in Frisco, Texas. We're getting to the highlights right here. Just real quick, as these highlights play, what did you guys think of this performance overall?
I think it was a little bit slow, and
Yes.
and I think one of the main reasons, is Josh Wolf wasn't there. He apparently came down with what they deemed a health issue.
Yeah, he's in the health and safety protocol. Sure sounds a lot like COVID.
He's got COVID. Yeah, so he was not able to travel with the team. Davey Arnaud was in charge as the interim coach.
Yeah,
and I think-
David was saying he didn't even watch this game live because I think it was because Josh Wolf wasn't actually on the sideline.
he did. So I don't
No, I mean, look at that. It remind me of what happened with Houston, the first goal.
Yeah.
But no, overall, I think we are playing way better. And oh my God,
This
that
first-
was
that one was
so
close.
Very close. This first half that we're watching here, the highlights of, it started a little rough.
Yeah, it was
didn't
rough.
Very rough.
Yeah.
Very rough. Like the beginning with Houston, I would say it was rough too. Especially the first goal.
Because this has been a theme of Austin FC, I think, in recent weeks, is starting a little slow. Is that something, David, that concerns you about this team, the fact they are getting off to these slow starts?
Well, we're getting a slow start, but we are coming back. We're coming back anytime, and then we have way too many all the chances. Like Drusy had a clear chance.
Yeah, that one right there was a clear chance.
I think this is the pass that went. That's the one that got on the post. But he had another clear header that he missed.
Has
Right. I think
Drusy,
it's coming up later, right?
has
Yeah.
he quieted down a bit for you? I know you got an assist in this game, and he still seems to be getting those goal involvements. He's tied for MLS lead in goal involvements.
Yeah.
But he
Okay.
does seem to be slowing down a
But
bit.
there, the ball went through. Like talking about
Cascante.
the specific goal right now, the ball went through Cascante's legs.
Yeah, that's
That
on
ball went through
Cascante,
Cascante's
right?
legs.
Yeah,
It's like-
that was Cascante.
And I was like, come on, that's
And that's the
You can see
second
it.
time in
Second time.
second week in a row
Right.
that's happened to him.
look at. Oh my God, that was like
Yeah,
he
he-
was totally off.
Yeah.
But Gabrielson also kind of have responsibility on that shot too. And I could not believe that they couldn't
This
make
one-
this
this one was-
that was easy to just
that
go
was
to the left.
easy,
Go
but-
to the left. Don't pass. Go to the left, and it could have been easy.
I don't know
goal.
what Jesus Ferrer is doing there.
Like-
He's my guy. I really like him as far as a U.S. M&T perspective, but man, that was not great from him.
Yeah, Gabrielson could just cut off his angle. And
no, but there was.
And I think it freaked
It was
Ferreira
so
out a
slow.
little bit.
It was
that he
too
passed
slow.
off.
It was so
It was too
slow.
slow. Yeah.
It was too slow that Ferreira should have gone to the left.
Yeah,
Not-
he
it was
should have.
too
He should have taken a shot, but
too unselfish.
it
Too
just-
unselfish because it was easy.
yeah, I think he just kind of was looking
But
for
this
the
was
easier
that's
shot.
the play. Like says Wolf,
Yeah.
little Wolf, Wolfito, giving the pass to Juicy.
Little Wolf.
Little Wolf.
And then little Wolf and Wolfito, and then Fagundes. What a great
Yeah,
combination!
yeah.
It just showed everything that's different this year for the team. I mean, I could say many things about Wolf as a coach last year, and I
think
all
you
the
did say
critics-
Did you see
Thank
me?
you,
I'm
bro.
right in there.
You had the cowboy hat
I was in the
on.
middle of all
But
that.
it
in
was
the cowboy
nice to
hat,
see
but,
was getting bigger and bigger. The crowd, it was
Yeah.
like in the bottom, it was not as full, but later it was a lot of fans all over the stadium.
It takes
There
a
were a lot
while
of-
to
yeah.
drive from Dallas to Frisco. So
Yeah, and
it
this
could've-
one was that one was really
Oh
close.
my God, that was a great save.
By Hosen, and then I believe it was Finley, I think, who took the other shot. But I mean, once Austin FC scored, I think Dallas just sort of gave up a little bit in a sense that
Yeah,
they weren't
they're
as
on
attacking.
a rough run of
They are
form,
in a
FC
rough
Dallas.
run.
And I do wonder if that goal just kind of demoralized them, and they thought, okay, here we go, more of
And
the
then-
same, more struggling.
And this was the final
Yeah.
shot of the game, and there it is. Felipe celebrating in the middle of all that. So I mean, I was there at the game. That was a
What
fun
was
game.
the atmosphere like? It sounded great on TV, Jorge.
It was loud. It was very, very loud.
And primarily, when you say loud, you're talking about the Austin FC.
Austin
fans.
FC.
'Cause I heard an
wait.
FC Dallas or something like that. Clap, clap, clap. A couple
Yeah,
of times. That was about it. I didn't
no.
really hear much else.
They were excited when they were ahead, but I have some friends that are not Dallas fans or Frisco fans, and they clearly said Austin FC fans were loudest. So we'll talk about it in a
what-
minute.
what-
but
what was you-
We'll
I
just
talk about
reminded
it in a
when-
minute, but
yeah.
we'll talk about it in a minute. But I just talked to Adrian Healy a few minutes ago, and
Oh,
he heard.
I think you dropped a name there. Jorge.
Yeah, Adrian Healy, my friend, and he's my friend. He remembers my name, so it's close to that guy. But anyways,
Fan of the show, Adrian Healy.
but friend of the show. But he did say that we were clearly louder than
All right.
I know he said it was a homer, but
Yeah,
And-
it was like a Q2 stadium when Chile played Mexico. Chile was
Yeah.
louder than Mexico, even though it was 90% Mexico.
There was, I think one
I
guy
would have
played a
to
pretty
agree.
big,
You
pretty
were
big
there.
role in
You were
in
there.
that.
You were there.
I was there, and when they took the ban, I remember when they took
Yeah.
no, that's a different
How
story.
could we
but-
forget that?
Yeah, we cannot forget that. But
But so here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
The number I kept hearing quoted was it 800 Austin FC fans. Was it more than that, or was
it probably was because a lot of fans went on their own and they did not sit in the supporter section. They were kind of scattered all over.
Yeah,
the
I
field,
did
if you
notice
noticed.
that.
And so it's probably closer to 1,000.
Okay.
But there were.
How many Frisco fans?
You got to be telling. It was, I think, what, a 17,000-ish seat
I
stadium.
think the stadium capacity is 20,000.
20,000.
Right.
Okay.
And the announced crowd was 15, almost
15?
16. So,
Okay.
and 1,000 of those
So
were
you're
Austin
talking
FC fans.
14,000-ish to
14
1,000-ish.
Yeah,
and
they were
Austin FC,
quiet.
the 1,000-ish were
Yeah,
louder.
They were.
That's-
I mean, kudos to them. It was the biggest crowd yet that we faced there at Toyota Stadium. But yeah, I mean,
Not the last
hopefully not. Yeah, and hopefully this. I mean, there's a lot of banter before, during, and after the game.
Yes.
That the real rivalries with Houston because they got the Capitan and obviously they would value that one because they won it.
So far, it's
And-
San Antonio, I would say.
and yeah, I agree. But yeah, so I think it's good that these kinds of rivalries happen. It's a young rivalry. We've only been here 2 years, but we've already won a trophy. So we're gonna enjoy that one.
I want to ask real quick. Just keep on the subject of the fan experience for
Yeah.
a moment. So
Yeah.
this trophy, Copa Tejas trophy,
Right.
It's a supporters trophy. It's not
Right.
necessarily an official MLS trophy, although
Right.
it counts the same.
Yeah,
It's a trophy.
it's a trophy.
Austin FC have won a trophy.
Yes.
But it was agreed upon by the supporters groups
Yes.
not to celebrate the trophy in the stadium.
Correct.
Which meant we got the image of Austin FC players and fans in the parking lot
Yeah.
of the stadium celebrating the trophy. But tell us a bit about that, Jorge. What was that
Yeah,
experience like?
I was involved in some of the late discussions about that, just kind of the last minute details, and it was discussed. If Dallas won, they can celebrate on the field, and that's with their players and all that. And But the scenario was if Austin FC won, where would the trophy be presented? And we thought for the sake of safety, it would have been better to be in the parking lot, not in front of, celebrating in front of their fans. Personally, it was a bad optic. But one thing that we did not anticipate.
And there's a picture right there. That is the parking lot of the
one
FC
thing that was not anticipated with the Copa Tejas people was the involvement of the players. I think they thought they were going to be presented the trophy inside the stadium.
Alex Ring certainly thought that.
Yes.
Because he had some pretty strong words.
And so
after the game.
I honestly anticipate a little bit of tweaking for next year's Copa Tejas and to how that's going to be handled. But I have no worries because we're going to win it again. But, for the sake of the other teams, we need to kind of iron out some of the kinks.
Yeah, because I would say definitely would have been safer, I think, to have been in the stadium as opposed into a parking lot where fans of any persuasion could have shown up. To that
and because we hadn't been in this situation before. I mean, and so we thought it'd be better. Unfortunately, there were some incidents in the parking lot. After the players left, security was a little bit rough on a couple of the supporters that were just enthusiastic, wanting to get pictures and kind of went over the fence. There was a rock throwing incident from because right next to where the celebration was. I'm right there and right above the Verde sign. I'm right up there.
Right above the Verde sign. I can see you with my.
You can clearly see me there.
With my eyes,
You got a telescope there, David?
Yeah, my glasses.
So needless to say, there needs to be still a little bit of tweaking as far as the presentation is concerned. But yeah, it was a great. It was a little bit surreal, to be honest.
It's a great feeling to be a winner.
This is great, right, David? You've been a Texas soccer fan for a while, so to have a team from Austin lift this trophy, that's got to be a really special thing for you.
Yeah, it reminds me of the days when the old Austin Aztec will win several tournaments like twice. They have to win it in two different versions. But yeah, that was like, it was very special. But it was not as special the way they left. Those teams left right after that. Yeah. After winning, so now it's a different feeling for me because I don't think we're leaving anywhere. I think the team is not leaving.
I would not think so.
Here
we go, Jerry.
Yeah, there we go. I'm right there.
I see you with your arms with your arms right.
I'm right in there.
Yeah. And after the D.
I'm going to take you guys as word for it. I'm going to take you guys as word for it.
But what a beautiful call.
But yeah, it was
beautiful.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to be there and I would like to mention, though, that this is not Austin's first Copa Tejas. The Bold actually won it the first year I think they played. Unfortunately, the Bold no longer exists, but I did want to mention that real quick, that's the second time.
That is correct, and I'm glad you mentioned that.
And rightly so, like the Bold, right, they did win a couple other.
Yeah, they did some damage.
Austin Aztec, they did win too. So they did not move. They just changed the name.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't diminish from the MLS Copa Tejas, but
no, nothing at all. But
so
going
really
back
great.
a little bit to what asking me what do I think about what I said last year about Wolf?
Oh yeah,
and all
let's
of
get
that.
into that. Let's get.
Okay, we'll talk about Wolf in a second. Here.
Okay, you want to wait? Okay,
I want to get your thoughts on the FC Dallas game in particular.
Okay.
I'm sure we've got a lot of big picture takes
yes.
to uncork on the audience here because
right.
it's been a minute.
Yes.
As far as this FC Dallas match in particular, I'm just kind of looking over the numbers. Possession, Austin FC 51% to 49% to FC Dallas.
Pretty even.
But the shots, 16 for FC Dallas, just 10 for Austin FC.
Right.
And the expected goals, I know you're a big expected goals guy, David. The expected goals, 2.38 for FC Dallas, just 0.73 for Austin FC, which basically that's just a fancy way of saying FC Dallas created much better chances than Austin FC.
Well,
in this match.
shots from goals over 6 on 5.
It was,
I believe.
I think was the halftime.
Oh, okay, the halftime was
Yeah,
6 on 5.
it was that. But overall, it was 16 for FC Dallas, 10 for Austin FC.
Oh, okay.
Or that was shots overall. You might be right. Shots on goal.
Shots on goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shots on goal.
I think
Yeah.
you were right. Okay.
Just very, very little difference.
Very little, but again, the expected goals, which again I know you love, David, really seemed to favor the chances that FC Dallas were creating versus the chances that Austin FC were creating.
Yeah.
And so I will pose this question to both of you guys. We'll start with you, Jorge.
Okay.
Were Austin FC lucky to get a draw in this match?
Yes, they looked a little lethargic. I don't know how much influence the coaching style, I guess, between Wolf and Arnold had a role in this, but I think they went with the plan that they've always had. I think it was the first time, one of the few times they used the same starting lineup from one game to the next. So I think
in a week where this is the second game in,
Right.
in the week, and it's very hot in Texas this time of year.
Yes,
I'm sure everyone
it
is
was hot.
aware.
It was hot here when we
especially
played
hot right
Houston,
now.
and it was hot in Dallas. Believe me.
Yeah.
There was a lot of water being
Seems
consumed.
like
but,
seems like the field was the pitch was a little bit wet, wasn't it?
yeah, they wet it down considerably
Because you can see it on the screen
yeah,
on TV.
and
It's
they had water breaks, hydration breaks in both halves. So it was pretty terrible conditions for the players. So for Austin FC players to have played 2 straight games in those conditions, I mean that must have taken a toll on them. And so I think that's why they were a little slower than they usually are. But this team has proven time and time again this season.
They don't mind going a goal down, do they?
Time and time again,
It
this
doesn't
season.
scare them.
Well, David, so I'll ask you the same question I asked already. This match, were Austin FC lucky to escape with a point?
No.
No,
Not lucky.
we got our contrarian. Nothing has changed. I love it.
mean, you build a luck. When you are lucky,
That's
I
true.
think you
That is
build
true.
a luck. And last year at this time, we didn't have any luck.
At
We
all.
didn't have any everything will go against us. So this time, this is not the first time that we're down. A goal. How many times? 5 times we've been down.
It's been 5 times. Yeah.
5 times, and we don't lose.
we
Last
get
year we keep losing it, so it
get a
is not
result.
luck. I think, but yeah, if you say,
What do you think that is, David? Why is this team able to fall behind in these matches and find a way to come back and still get a result?
because they finally clicked. The team is already clicked. I think the last 2 months, earlier in the year, I say. Give him six games, right? This year I say
Yeah, you
let's
said
get
6
6
I
games.
seem to recall.
I say that,
There's
and-
someone saying that.
And
Yes.
honestly, anybody would have fired the guy with this results last year.
They
Well,
did
Anthony
fire a
Freeport
couple
didn't-
guys.
They did fire people with less with not as bad result. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is that the team really found themselves, and you can feel it, you can see it on, especially in the leaders and Rusi, Fagundes, Ring not playing. What we were saying all the time, at the beginning, it was keep bothering Rusi. Now he is. Not bothering Rusi, is playing more back, taking
Right,
more
we did talk about
responsibilities in the back, and then being more smart up front. And then that was the key. That was, for me at least, was the key. That movement allows Rusi to be more free and have that connection that he has with Ruti and Fagundes. And then you have all the people that replace the person I never liked last year, along Pochettino. I'm talking about Cecilio, right? Then we have Wolf and we have Holsten
Finley.
and Finley. I mean, way better in numbers that Cecilio ever did. So, and I say Cecilio's not going to score more goals. You asked me one time. He's not
Actually,
gonna, and I said he's not going to score more
that
goals.
take
You
is,
did-
in its
you
own
did say
strange
that.
way, has aged quite well.
It is coming true.
And
It is
I
coming
have to
true.
say, I mean, now Wolf is doing a great job. I think he has a great
I
team.
want to just
And
snip
people-
that clip right there. Wolf is
But-
doing a great job.
I mean, and Stuver was saying that he did not have, people did not give Wolf the credit for what he have done, building up the team from the bottom up. Yes, I'm totally agree with Stuver, but you don't perform, you don't get to keep performing, but you get lucky. You got the support of the front office, of the back office. You got it, and that was good. I'm happy for them too, not only for Wolf, but for everybody
staff,
and the team that they were able to trust. I wouldn't trust them, but they did.
So I want to ask you, Debbie, you said something I really, really agree with, is that you said just the team really seems to understand the style of play that I think Wolf wants from them.
Yeah.
And I think, you have to say that vindicates, I think, the decision of Austin FC to keep Wolf around this year, because they now have that extra year. They had that extra season last season of building that understanding. So as much as you were Wolf out last season, I don't think with a different coach, even with this same roster, that this team is where they are.
Yeah, somebody asked Josh Wolf in one of the press conferences, I think it was the one after Houston, what the difference was between this year's roster and last year's. Is they just added a few pieces here and there. The tactics are the same. The formation's the same. The attitude's the same. It's just that they have better pieces that fit now.
And Pochettino is not there, and Cecilio is not there. For me, that's the key. Honestly, sorry, but
that is one of the bigger differences.
He's a good coach. He did help. He built it from the bottom.
One of the issues with Pochettino was that he didn't play the system. Is that he just kind of went out there and did his own thing.
He was kind of freelancing.
Yeah, freelancing.
Yeah, he was freelancing.
Great way to describe it.
But he didn't. I don't think he took it seriously enough. I don't think he didn't expect it to be like this. He didn't put his heart on it, and that was very sad, because at the beginning he created so many expectations, and so many kids were with the Pochettino jersey on. And I was like, it's my favorite player in the world.
There was a lot of expectations.
I was like, oh my God, really? Is your favorite player?
Did you ever have a Pochettino jersey, David?
No, I had some students that had that, but I was like, Jesus.
What grade did you give him in your class, if you can say?
He did not make the team.
They did not make the team.
He did not make the team. But
couldn't quite cut it.
But yeah, Wolf is doing a great job. I think right now with the team that we have, he did a great job last year. He should have not stayed, in my point of view, because there was no relegation. But he stayed. He's doing a way better job now. And it's not only Wolf. It's all the people with him. All the technical all the assistants and the front office. I think they're doing a great job. And now we lose games and we tie games that we should not tie, like this game.
Win games
Dallas,
that we shouldn't.
He should have scored. Come on, a couple of those goals should have easily should have gone.
That's what I was saying. The expected goals figures.
Easily should have gone by then. But we are in a roll, and when you are in a roll,
things just fall your way.
Yeah, they fall our way,
and that's what's been happening all season. Really.
And I think Austin always deserved to be this way. But we need to keep riding this wave.
And I think you bring up a good point there, David. I'm agreeing with you a lot more since our hiatus. I guess you've really come around to my way of thinking here. But you bring up something. There is no relegation in MLS.
Right.
So really, what is if you think the guy's got a good philosophy and you just need to add a few pieces, you need to add a Maxi Arruti, you need to add an Ethan Finley for depth, then why not give him another chance? Because there really isn't any. It's not like you're going down to the second division and you got to try and rebuild the squad. And even if you struggled this season, although let's not think about the team having an unrepeat of last season this season.
Yeah, we don't want to jinx
them. But if you did, there isn't really any penalty for it. And I think I like relegation in leagues. I think it makes it more interesting. I don't like rewarding teams for playing poorly. But in this league, there isn't relegation, so why not give him another chance? Yeah,
it might. But look at Houston. What happened with Houston, right? They didn't give the other guy a chance, and the guy right now is not doing a good job either.
Nothing's really changed.
And Tabaré Ramos is a good coach.
They just did not. Track record.
They just did not support him the way he probably should have, and sure now they have Hector Herrera, obviously, but they still need some pieces. He is not enough.
Definitely not enough. But we are on the right track, and I
think they're on the right track with him.
Yeah, we're on the right track.
I definitely agree.
I support this team 100%.
Wow. 100% support. Okay, I want to ask you guys a question, and I think this actually relates to Josh Wolf and just having his style, and the team is his second season and the players really grasping his philosophy.
Yeah.
But I think if you look at the players, I think this is definitely a deeper team than last season, but I would hesitate to say this is a deep team, at least relative to Seattle or LAFC, those teams. But I look at guys like Owen Wolf, who can play on the right wing and can also play in central midfield. I look at someone like Felipe Martins, who can play in deeper in midfield and then can play an attacking midfield. I look at someone like John Gallagher, who was a
Who
winger
switched
last year
positions,
and
yeah.
who is now playing at left back and playing exceptionally
Playing really well at
very,
left
very
back,
well
yeah.
at left back. Do you think the versatility of this squad is one of the keys to their success? I'll direct that question to you, Roy.
I truly believe that, yeah, because there have been occasions here and there. I mean, we take the Houston game. John Gallagher was ruled unavailable at noon on game day.
Yeah,
I think he had the stomach virus or something like that,
yeah.
so he was not able to go. And and Hector Jimenez got injured in the 12th, 13th minute, something like that. It was really early in the game.
Very early in the game.
So obviously that could have affected them the rest of the game, and it didn't. It's like next man up, and they didn't lose a beat. I was concerned because I asked Josh Wolf in the press conference after the availability of Gallagher and Jimenez, and that's what they said, that Jimenez probably has a groin, and after that it was reported it's going to be at least 6 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So middle of April when he comes back, and Gallagher was just, they were going to avail him the next day, and obviously he was fine because he was available for Dallas. But that's just the mentality of the team, that there's so much flexibility. I'm sure they could put Felipe Martins back there at cornerback, and he would have been fine. But the rock that really is the foundation of all that is Gabrielson. He has been.
I tell you, this game against Dallas.
Yes.
Watching it live, because Jesus Ferreira he's not maybe a bit of a slump now, but he's been one of the best strikers in this league all season. I thought Gabrielson did an amazing job on him.
He shut him down.
Well, probably that one, when Ferreira had that chance, he already was.
He cut off
mentally.
Mentally
was down.
He was already thinking what Ferreira was thinking, and got to the place where he wasn't thinking.
Because that was an easy. That was an easy shot, and he decided to pass the ball.
For a lesser defender, he wouldn't have been in the right position.
He got nervous. Yeah, that's the only thing I
got him nervous.
Explain him that, because any other forward would have just gone left, and he just decided to pass the ball.
Right.
I think if you look at Jesus Ferreira in this match, I think relative to his other performances this season, I think he really tried to stay high and just try and hang on Gabrielson's shoulder and look for those through balls to run onto, as opposed to dropping deeper and playing that kind of hybrid 10-9 role that he usually plays. And Gabrielson matched him step for step the entire match.
He shadowed
even
him
on
all
the
game.
cross that Ferreira had for that assist. I mean, maybe he could have done a bit more to cut it off, but he was right there with him. And if Cascante does his job,
he made it different. Yeah, if Cascante does his job, there is no goal.
Yeah, there is no goal.
But that's the thing with Cascante is another one that's been a cog on defense. He has his mental mistakes every once in a while, sure. But he more than makes up for the rest of the game.
I feel very confident in that center back pairing going forward. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. And you're saying that the flexibility that the team has, the players, I mean, that really made the team happen this season. Like the fact that all those guys, Komenich and Gallagher especially,
is he the first choice left back right now? Has he fully supplanted Komenich in you guys' eyes?
Yeah. I mean, he was struggle for a while, but he's got better and better. He's getting way better.
I think what he does versus Komenich that I think is really vital to this team is he's a right-sided player playing on the left side, and he hits those big swooping diagonals. And even Finley in particular really seems to thrive on those. He makes those vertical runs, and there was almost had a pretty good chance at this game on a long diagonal.
Right.
That was kind of Finley's only big moment in this match. But against like Colorado, against Atlanta, those games, you really saw those big switches.
Yeah, and they're not just hopeful and let's see what happens. No, they are passes
way
from the back.
Yeah,
absolutely. So they're very accurate because he knows exactly where his guy is going to be, even if he's in the back. And that's just because the mentality of a winger converting to a left back, he knows where a left winger or a right winger is supposed to be.
That is a very good point.
So,
I like that a lot. Yeah.
And so I think that's helped him a lot because they don't really expect their left or right backs to be very defensive. That's their job, obviously, but that's not what this team is about. They want their wings to attack.
Absolutely,
and they both do.
The fullbacks attacking is a big part of this team. Yeah.
And that only works if you have a good pairing like Gabrielson Cascante and Romagna when he fills in every once in a while.
And Danny Pereira as well. Ring too. Like
everybody's
and Lima,
everybody's
right?
There's been some criticism about Lima, but I think he's been fine.
I think he's been
I
fine.
I think even better than Cascante for me,
Really?
Yeah.
Cascante to me has been. I loved Matt Beasler last season, but Beasler was probably at the.
But
literally was at the tail end
like
of his
the
career.
things like we it's nice that we talk about how good the team is, and the fact that the team is very reliable. Like the guys are reliable. They know what to do. The element of luck is not there because they know the teams know what they do, and they kind of like each other now. The team is like
the team spirit is incredible. These post-match
chemistry,
videos that we get. Austin FC's media team does a great job.
And you have the chemistry, and
really
not only that, but they earn the chemistry from the fans, from the Austin fan, because it wasn't there. It wasn't there that much last year, but this year it's like you see. Last year when they left without saying goodbye. Yeah, that was a little stuff like that should not happen. But now
they've even inspired. They've even inspired a chant.
Yeah,
the players
and also
with one of their mate con voz.
Yeah,
inspired a chant that now we do to them and they do to us, and it's just it's just great.
What is that chant, Jorge? I don't think I know this one.
I love you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. I think Felipe Martins or Maxi Urruti, one of those guys.
Yeah, like everybody's sharing the mate, la yerba mate.
Maybe they ought to get you on that show, David.
Even Josh Wolf. Josh Wolf has partaken in the last mate con voz, and he drank some mate.
Oh, nice.
So that's,
Go Josh.
Hey, guys, but, talking about the team itself, also, in general, you have to think we have a lot of consistency, right?
Yes.
But looking at the other teams, it's not there. Like, many of the other
teams. This is a great point, David. Jerry, do you happen to have the standings, the MLS standings? Because I want to start talking some big picture. I got some hard hitting questions lined up for you guys. Okay, here is the current MLS Western Conference standings. LAFC on top, Austin FC just a point behind them. I'm going to ask you this question, David. Austin FC, are they the second best team in the MLS's Western Conference?
Yes, the second best team. No doubt about it.
No doubt.
The second best team is about almost 8 points
above
the other ones, the Salt Lake, and Minnesota. Like
so
10 points above.
Better than Seattle, your CONCACAF Champions League winners. They're better than Seattle.
Better than Seattle right now. Yeah, like Seattle.
Yeah, they have been off this season.
Portland and Seattle, they always going to come back at the end. But what you see is how far Austin has come.
Yeah.
Far from being at the bottom last year.
13th place last season?
Almost like fighting the bottom three. And now fighting the bottom two with, honestly, LA is a real thing. I mean, the LA team, I mean, they beat Nashville. The way they beat Nashville, I mean, it was just like...
Got a couple of big signings coming in as well.
Yeah.
Bale and
Bale and Cido, all those guys, I mean, that team is a real thing. But
so that is the best team. That is the best team.
Well, yeah, we need to shoot for the sky, right?
What do you think about this? Austin FC, are they the second best team in the West?
Yes, yeah, and
in the West, and better than all the teams on the East.
So this is the second best team in all of MLS.
Yeah, I think probably NYCFC is kind of close to them, but they just lost Tati Castellanos.
Just as of today, lost Tati Castellanos,
and that's going to really hurt them. It'd be interesting to see who they replace with a DP, but I mean, LAFC's got the players, they got the stars. I mean, Bale's still in his prime, Vela's still, not as good as he's been in other seasons.
This season,
but
he'll pick
also
it
they
up
had the support,
very good support,
very good support.
Like,
I mean, Nashville, was very impressive too. But
so I think it'll be interesting who because Chris Bills from the Strikers already put out a little report about Cecilio Dominguez about his agent pretty much shopping him around. So he's pretty much gone.
Yes, and it looks like there should be an Emiliano Rigoni.
Yes.
Apparently 99% done, I believe, according to the Striker as well. I think the only thing that's holding it up is just finding a destination for Cecilio.
And once that's done, I mean, we're going to get him. and he has not played since January 3rd.
Does that move excite you, Jorge,
especially
as a DP signing?
It does, because part of that report that Chris Bills was talking about is Sebastian Driussi played with him. They're actually friends.
Yes, over at Zenit.
Well, so Driussi also played with Pochettino.
And so, but
so match made in heaven, right, David?
but it's one of those things that we can discuss this a little bit. Driussi has been advising Rigoni that MLS is a hard league. It's not.
Yes.
It's not a league just to go and you're going to be a star. And I think that's the problem that Tomas Pochettino had, is that he was going to. He thought he would just come in here and breeze.
Yeah. Well,
No, the MLS is a hard physical league, and if you are not up to it, you are not going to have success.
It seems like that's the key. It's players that aren't ready for the physicality, aren't ready for the travel. That's a big thing.
The travel is
weather,
a big thing.
Yeah.
I think that the physicality is especially strong against some Argentinian players, some South American players. But the good thing about this, about him, coming from São Paulo, from the Brazilian league, which is one of the, for me nowadays, the Brazilian league is one of the strongest one in the world.
Dominant in the Copa Libertadores, as we were talking about.
Yeah, dominant Libertadores. They won 6 teams and only 2 Argentinian teams and only 6 Brazilian teams left.
Yeah.
And the quality, Arturo Vidal just moving into Flamengo.
So it's a good league if Arturo Vidal.
And then you have great. All the Flamengo stars. Flamengo is loaded. Corinthians is loaded. All the Brazilian teams.
Palmeiras.
Oh my
all
God!
those guys.
Like people from Chilean players, like a lot of people, like Vargas went to
Edu Vargas.
Mineirão. With the Mineirão.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, with the Mineirão. So if he comes from São Paulo, especially, which is one of the biggest team in Brazil, it is something else.
Okay, yeah. He only had 2 goals in 31 games this season. That's not a concern for you?
Well, he probably doesn't have much chances to play, right?
I did see that there was an issue with they had a coaching change, and the new coach is apparently not a fan of his.
But just to be playing in São Paulo is a good sign.
But as a DP, this is a move that you like, Jorge?
I do,
you think?
yeah. Because I think he showed a lot of promise in the year before when he played with a coach that understood his abilities. Because he was tearing it up in 2020 in the last 6 months that he was there in the first division there in Brazil. He scored like 10 goals and a bunch, 4 or 5 assists. He was playing really, really well. And then the coaching change happened. Okay. And from what I understand, Sao Paulo's in a little bit of financial difficulties, and that's why they're offloading. And not because they don't like them, but because they just can't afford them in their current state financially. So the deal's going to get done.
I'm going to withhold judgment until I see him play. I don't know where to go on this. I'm a little skeptical. His numbers at Zenit were not good at all.
The numbers with...
He's 29, so he's probably about as good as he's going to be.
Urruti's numbers were not that good. Urruti's numbers were not that good.
But he's doing
they got way better.
I'm not saying I don't like the signing. I'm saying I'm just going to wait to judge it.
Right.
That's probably a good way to look at it.
But it's good to have more and more players. And
the other one.
And speaking of, yes, so that deal is 99% done according to our pals over at the Striker. This one's 100% done. We're talking Washington Corozo, 24 years old, Ecuadorian, joins Austin FC from Sporting Cristal of the Peruvian League.
Right.
He's a left winger, right-footed left winger, so it's kind of an inverted winger. What do you guys do about it? So he was there he is, right there. Thank you, Jerry. Most recently, he was on loan with Pumas, had just 8 goals in 44 appearances.
Right.
What do you think about this one, Jorge? Washington Corozo, does he get your blood flowing? Does this move excite you at all? It's a loan deal, so it's not necessarily
That's the part that excites me.
Is the fact that he's not here to stay.
He's going to be on loan with the option to be contracted later, but. I like his ambition. He is in the Ecuador national team, so he's going to want to be as productive as possible to be able to contribute to Ecuador's World Cup hopes there.
Yes, that's what he said to me. He's wanting to impress.
He said it plainly. I want to play so that I can be in the World Cup in Ecuador.
Yeah.
And if that's not a good incentive, plus he doesn't count against salary. It's just a roster spot, and so which they had one already, and then once whatever happens with Cecilio, we'll take care of Rigoni. So, but he's a good option. I mean, he's fast. He played against Seattle in the CONCACAF Champions Final. So he put in some good minutes. But the coach from Pumas pretty much said that they're paying him fees to be a DP or to be a starter, not a rotation guy or a substitute. So that's why they let him go. They didn't renew the loan. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see him.
Yeah, I agree, and especially I just think the wing area is really Austin FC could use some help there, especially considering Cecilio's he's gone for all intents and purposes. Right. And I just think Diego Fagundes has looked a little winded. Same with Finley. I think these are guys that can only play so many minutes.
Yeah, those guys need a little bit of a break, and he's extremely fast. Manchita Corozo. And one interesting thing about Rigoni that we didn't mention is that he's ambidextrous. So he's got both a strong left and a strong right leg.
I did see he's known for playing on both sides.
And he plays either side. So we were talking about the flexibility.
Yeah,
he is going to be a perfect piece to either play on the left or the right, depending on who is available, who wants to.
Besides the team is
who they want to rest.
Wolf likes players that are very flexible.
Yes, that's what we've talked about. Okay, you guys are starting to convince me. I might be warming up to Rigoni a bit more than I was before. Okay, I think we're getting close to being out of time here, but I want to have one more final question for you guys.
Right.
A big question, very important. Your answer to this.
Yeah.
We'll start with you, Mr. David.
Yes.
Austin FC, is this team MLS Cup contenders?
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah. It is definitely talking about going back to Corozo just a little bit, just to let you know that I think he did not do very.
Doing some googling while Jorge.
He did not very good in Sporting Cristal. He was given as to a Mexican team, Club Universidad Nacional, and they did not renew in Mexico in the Primera División, which is the second division of Mexico. So they not renewing.
I believe while you were Googling, Jorge was actually just telling our audience that.
Probably. That it was not renewed by Nacional or by Sporting?
By Pumas. By both, actually.
Yeah.
By both.
This is Nacional, another team.
Yeah.
Another
so
player.
he's that's probably not a good thing for him.
No, I'm a little skeptical.
But anyways,
both of these deals,
even the good thing is Cecilio is not here, and then we need to be happy about that. And it's a good replacement. But yeah, definitely Austin has a chance to be the number one.
I agree. So they are MLS Cup contenders. Jorge, what do you think?
I agree. They have faced a lot of different situations, and for the most part, they've come ahead. They've been behind. They've protected leads. They've won a lot of 1-0 matches.
Won some 3-2s as well.
Won a couple of 5-0s.
Yes.
But
also because, like what I said earlier, now the team is one. Like Austin, the city of Austin is behind Austin, and I think that's the key. That's the key that is taking us to the different level.
I think that definitely plays a big part of it. I do wonder if, and there we go. There's a little more Corozo for you there, Davi. Don't even need to Google. Just look right at the screen.
Yeah,
it's right there. I do agree with you guys. I think they're in second place right now in the West. You have to consider Austin FC MLS Cup contenders. I do wonder in the postseason against an LAFC with Gareth Bale firing, with a fully rested, fully motivated Seattle Sounders team. I do wonder how that would play out for Austin FC. But hey, right now, second place, you have to say this team are MLS Cup contenders.
Yeah, I mean, just playing on the road. I mean, just take these two games.
Austin FC's road record incredible.
Take the two games against the Dallas and Houston teams. Those were harsh conditions. Mm-hmm. It was in the heat for the Dallas game. It was a difficult game for Dynamo because they lost Brad Stuver early. And so it was different situations away from home, and they still come away with points. Yeah. So they face very different situations, and they don't miss a beat. I mean, it feels like this team, you never give up on this team. They're always going to figure it out.
Yeah, like last year they give up anytime. I mean, I remember they were giving up all the time. Like we're losing the game and like playing back and instead of trying to score.
Yeah.
I was like, now it's a totally different mentality. These kids, they know what they're doing now. Like they know what they're doing, and we're getting all the big exposure because last game, like the Dallas Austin game, was a national TV and to the N in Univision, and the guys were the commentators. Everybody's happy to come to Austin. They know where to sit. They know to sit over here. They love the team, and they talk. They spend quite a bit of time talking about what Cecilio did and what the fans did about Cecilio. And they spend like about 10 minutes talking about that situation. And that was showing how powerful the
support is, right?
Supporting is. Like, and he was like, they came out twice in Spanish.
Right.
I don't know in English, but in Spanish they came back twice saying how important is that. So you see the synchrony between the team, the fans, and the city.
I think you have to say the support for this team has been incredible, and hey, the supporters, it's a huge part of the success of this team this season.
Yeah, and you could even see it. We were like I mentioned, I did get this scarf.
Oh, here we go.
I wanted to show off. It's the scarf that says
all right,
because I just came from the groundbreaking for the McCollum station there at the stadium. And the Murga was there. There was a lot of people there. And so it was a little 30-minute celebration that, just a little groundbreaking for a train station. And people were there in the sun.
Yeah.
That's
I really want that station. I mean,
incredible.
that would be the perfect for me because I always park right there.
Yeah, and it's going to be,
I don't have to park anymore. I'm going to ride the bike.
No, just ride the
bike.
bus or ride the train there.
Yeah.
It'll be open for those more information later, but it's slated to be open in 1 year exactly. So we won't get to enjoy it this year or middle of next year, but at the end of the year. So it should be.
And people were asking about when the stadium is going to be expanded too.
They're already talking about that too. Yeah, it's 20,800 more or less right now, but it's got a capacity for 22,500 if I'm not mistaken.
Something like that, yeah. About 3,000 more.
About 2,000 more seats are going to be probably sooner than later.
Makes sense to me. Okay, yeah. I think we're about out of time here. You guys got any final thoughts on where we are with this Austin FC team? It's an all Austin FC show this week.
Yeah, it's an all Austin FC show because everybody's in the offseason anyway.
Everyone else is,
Although, do you want to mention Chelsea beat America?
Hey, yes, I watched that one.
That was nice goals, man, beautiful.
Mason Mount's very nice.
Yeah, nice basketball shot too. Is he the one? Yeah, he put it in the bucket. So that was a good miss.
Things are looking good, and in Europe, I mean, we don't have anything to talk about, but.
Just wait though. We're back. It's so great to be back, everyone. Thank you to Jerry Lopez behind the board. Excellent job as always. Hey, we're back now. We're going to do this again next week. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Clubdeportes.com. All your sporting information needs.